Hi, everyone. Welcome to Psychic Connection, collaboration over competition. And today it's my true pleasure to welcome Artie Hoffman to our show. Welcome, Artie.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Me too. Well, I'd love to jump right in. So I'd like to say that you are my most experienced psychic I have interviewed so far.
Wow.
You
Okay,
have.
stop right here. Stop right here. I want to remain as number one. Don't do it.
I thought you'd like that. So you have over 30 years of experience and over 30,000 readings. Yes. So please
That's a lot.
explain. That's a lot of
That's
readings.
a lot of readings.
That's a lot. So please explain how your psychic gift has grown throughout the years.
How has it grown? You know how it's grown? Through recommendations. And the more you do anything, the better you get at it.
Mhm.
And the only way I get more readings and more people is by recommendations.
So you feel your gift has grown because you're reading more people, you're practicing more, and expanding because of the more clients that you read.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Also meditating, I also say my prayers every single day
Right.
to God and the angels, and I ask them for protection, and I ask them to open up my channels so that my third eye could be wide open, so I can understand everything what's being said to me, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
I know firsthand when you give a reading, it's truly an amazing experience because you've read me several times. And I also write about you in my book. And I just want to read an excerpt of what I say about your readings. Um, I say that Artie's reading for me was superb. In true Artie fashion, he told jokes, gave insight into my future, relayed messages from my deceased mother in law, and provided me with a bit of a therapy session, all rolled into one reading. It's quite an experience to be read by Artie. And
Oh, thank you,
yes,
thank you,
so I wrote about that, and it's so very true. I highly recommend you.
thank
So,
you.
what is the best way for someone to contact you for a reading?
Oh, if they want to contact me, they could call me at 732-778-7173, or they could email me at artiehoffman@gmail, or go to my website, artiehoffman.com. That's ARTIEHOFFMAN at gmail or .com.
Yes,
So yeah, so that's the best way to reach me.
you should. Yes. Now, you are a writer as well, and your first book was Angels and Answers, and you've just come out with your second book called Have Your Angels Call My Angels. So I finished it.
Really?
Yes, I bought it on Saturday, and I finished it already. I felt it was very engaging. It was a quick read. I found it also to be educational and inspiring, and of course funny because you're just so funny. Definitely. But I felt like it was like a handbook for life. You give all these words of wisdom, and great advice about a lot of different topics. So I wanted to know, how did your angels play a part in the writing of your book?
Oh, first of all, like, there are lots of people who deal with a lot of the same type of issues.
Right.
And so that's how, I'll write down titles of whatever it is I want to talk about. I don't necessarily start writing the book right away, but I'll write the titles.
Mhm.
And so when I'm ready to write, it just channels through me. It's just the messages just start coming through me. And when I'm zeroing in on the topic that I want to talk about, it's
Mhm.
just like I'm having a full-fledged conversation with someone. And I do write as if I'm talking. I don't,
Yeah. Me
my the
too.
way I write doesn't.
I do that also.
Yeah, I pride myself on talking about deep subjects, but
Yes.
explaining it in a very simplistic way.
Most definitely. Yeah, I agree. That definitely comes through in your book. So I wanted to know which lessons that you write about have made the strongest impact on you.
The love and respect that you give is the love and respect you deserve.
Wow. Yeah. Very true. Very true.
That's probably the most powerful message. It's all about, when you're dealing with any relationship, people treat you as well as you treat yourself.
Mhm.
And so it's important that, like a lot of times people want to be treated in a certain way, but they don't present themselves in that way.
Mhm.
If you want to be taken professionally, you have to act professional. If you want to be taken seriously, you can't act like a dope or act silly or airhead or stuff. And then how come people don't like me? Or what is it that they don't take me serious? It's like, well, what is it within your actions, or how do you present yourself for people to take you in the way you want to be taken?
Very true. Yeah, very true. But I have to say, come back to, you do really have an excellent sense of humor. You really do. And at one time you were a comedian. You tried that out. Now, how does humor play a role in your psychic life? And do you have any favorite comedians?
As far as how it plays in my psychic life. Well, the thing is, when I'm talking about, because I've read for so many people, there's always a lot of interesting stories. So when I'm reading people, or especially when I'm doing a live show for people, so I'm connecting, and then all of a sudden it will remind me of a story based on what I'm telling that person, because there's a bunch of funny little stories in my life, or interesting stories in my life that I tell given the moment, and I would probably say, believe it or not, one of my favorite comedians is Mike Marino. He's a very, very funny comedian. And if you YouTubed him, you'll definitely have a really, really good laugh. I also, let's see, I enjoy Jerry Seinfeld a lot, but I enjoy him more on his TV show than I do doing stand up. Personally, I think when you're doing stand up, it's totally different to go up on stage and then try to be funny compared to taking a situation and making it funny. And that's where more of my gift is. And I found that out because before, when I first tried just to do stand up comedy, it was very challenging for me. And sometimes I really stunk, and other times I was pretty good, but I was inconsistent. But when I start talking about spirituality, it's not about me. It's not about, am I trying to be funny? This is about, when I'm doing spirituality work, it's about, I want to share valuable information to the audience. So when I'm confident about talking about a topic, whatever it may be, there's always a sense of humor side to everything.
Yeah.
And, I've been like that, my whole life with my family. Everyone was very funny, quick wit. Let's see what else. Also in school, I was known as a class clown. Not trying to be a class clown. I actually didn't even know I was a class clown until my high school reunions, when people told me that Artie was a class clown. I just took it like as a matter of fact. It's not like, hey, everybody, look at me. It's like that wasn't me at all. I would just say funny stuff according to what was given in the moment, So, but there's a difference between being situational funny and then just going up there and being raw funny. When you could go up on stage and just be raw funny, that really is a talent. But then it's a different talent when you're a comedy actor, because you're acting and your words are being given to you, but it's the way you say it and how you come across to to bring the point home. So there is an art to timing and rhythm. Let's just say that, timing and rhythm.
Timing and rhythm. Yeah. Now, you have read for many celebrities, right? Can you share some interesting stories related to them?
Well, I'll tell you one. I read for one of the Sopranos,
Oh.
and and I was telling him that I told him to be very careful with his hand. I said that because I see his hand getting sliced across his hand, and he couldn't understand what I was thinking about. He didn't understand what I was talking about in the moment, and he just realized that there's a metal piece in his kitchen that keeps hanging down with it, and he keeps on wanting. He says, and the metal is sharp. He says, so now I said to him, well, make sure you wear your gloves when you're handling that piece. Right. So I was able to tell him something to save him from a disaster. And then he was impressed by a couple other things I said, and he ended up introduced me to his other relative and his and some other people, and also his girlfriend. We were doing a little reading because it just so happens that one of the girlfriends of the Sopranos was very intuitive herself. So yeah, very intuitive. also I read for um, Julia Arnez. That is Lucille Ball's
Oh,
granddaughter.
granddaughter. Okay.
And so she said that I was giving her, she and her daughter just died. And so
Mm.
I I was doing a radio station the same evening with her. And so I got there just a little late. And just as I was about to get into the station, she was walking out with one of her friends. And I didn't recognize who she was because I don't know, I just pictured her to be different. And she walked up to me and she goes, Artie. She goes, how you doing? She goes, Julia. I go, oh my God, how you doing? And so all of a sudden her daughter started pulling through right away. And I started mimicking her daughter.
Oh,
And and she started to cry and she started to like, but like they were happy tears,
yeah, yeah.
because I was able to connect and I was acting silly because her daughter was silly. So I was acting totally silly and dancing the way she did. And she goes, oh my God, oh my God. And then
Yeah.
when we went on air,
Right.
I told her a couple of things about her daughter
Mhm.
also.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool, and
Mhm.
yeah, so like I said, and I read for, producers, directors, certain sport figures, a whole bunch of variety of people.
Right, and people.
Yeah.
Now, do many people follow up with you at a later time after the reading to validate what you said came true?
Oh my God. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. That's like saying, do you have milk with your cereal?
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I do have a lot of people who give me lots of positive feedback. And, a lot of people will ask me, Artie, do you give bad news or do you give, challenging news? And I said, I call it hard news. I
Mm.
said, but if I'm going to give you hard news, then I'm usually going to give you the solution, on how to overcome a situation. I won't just drop a bomb on something. Like I don't tell people when they're going to die.
Mm.
I
No.
don't tell people when they're going to die, how they're going to die. I don't, unless the only time I'll talk about that is if I see them living up into their 80s or 90s. If I
Mm.
see longevity for their life, then I'll share that with them, of course, to take a world of pressure off of their shoulders,
Right.
because there are people who like subconsciously are always worried about death.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
but death, when you're over on the other side, it is a rebirth. It's not just death. And so I always tell people, I said, it's not your body that's who you are. We're not of our body.
Right.
Our soul and spirit is who we are.
Mhm.
And so we express ourselves. Our soul and spirit will express itself while staying in your body, while living in your physical body.
Mhm.
So your soul and spirit's expressing itself. So once the time comes and you die or somebody dies, it's not the person that dies, it's the body that dies.
Yes.
And then the soul and spirit lifts up out of the body and goes off into a different dimension form. But over on the other side, it's 1,000 times better than it is over here. Much, much better.
Mhm.
Unconditional love and no pain on the other side and
Yeah.
unconditional love.
Right. Most definitely. Yeah. And they keep their personalities, right?
Yes, they do.
They
They
do.
absolutely do. I'm also known for mimicking people's personalities. Not
Right.
always, but a lot of times I could mimic someone's personality. I just
Mhm.
start taking on their energy form, and it's
Right.
pretty funny, I mean, because they come up with some really, really funny stuff, and they're
Yeah.
over on the other side.
Oh, definitely. If they were funny in life, they're funny on the other side. And yeah, I know I've experienced some really funny things that they come out and say. Yeah. So it's kind
Yeah,
of entertaining. Yeah.
I was doing.
So I was going to say, speaking of entertaining, yes, you are a radio host of a weekly show, Angels and Answers, and you do a Facebook Live show on Sunday nights. So on both venues, people can ask you questions and you answer psychically. Can you share any like really touching ones with us?
Touching readings.
Yeah.
I would say out of over 30,000 people that I read, my favorite one is I was doing a reading. Well, a gentleman called me up and he says, Art, he goes, I need to see you, hopefully sooner than later. And I said, all right. I said, come in tomorrow. I'll see you. And so he came into my office. He came into my place
Mhm.
and he looked very depressed. His energy was very low.
Mm.
And for whatever reason, when he sat down, I started talking. It sounded like a counseling session rather than just psychically.
Yes.
But I told him everything he needed to hear right in the moment.
Mhm.
So I was talking about the meaning of life itself and
Mhm.
the purpose and meaning of his life,
Right.
and his dealing with his relationships with his family.
Mhm.
So I changed his demeanor
Mhm.
so drastically, like a 180-degree turnaround,
Right.
after I got finished speaking with him for the hour session.
Mhm.
When we got up and we were getting ready, he was getting ready to go. He says, Art, he goes, I just want you to know, gives me a hug. He goes, you saved my life. But a lot of people say, hey, you saved my
Yeah.
life. And I said,
Yeah.
he goes, no, you literally saved my life. He goes, I wrote a suicide note, and I was going to kill myself tomorrow. And
Oh,
now that I spoke with you, he goes, I didn't want to do that anymore. He goes, I
oh.
want to live.
So, I mean, that's such a touching story, and that really hones in on how you truly help people. And that story was so extreme on how you helped that young man. It's
Right.
amazing. Yeah,
Oh,
but we lost you. But what a beautiful, touching story, and how good that makes you feel that your gift, allowed you to help that young man want to live. Yeah, beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful.
It's and so to make a big difference in so many people's lives.
In his,
Um,
and then
you
some.
know, I have told people that where girls thought they were never going to get pregnant, and I told them the date. Not only did I tell them they were going to get pregnant, I told them the date they were going to get pregnant,
Very sweet.
and the gender and stuff. Um,
Excellent.
so yeah, so it's pretty amazing. But like I said, it's like when I do readings, I tell people, even though it seems like all the information comes from me because it comes out of my mouth, but
Right.
it's like I have a Patrick Swayze sitting next to me, like from the movie Ghost, that gives me all the answers and they make me look good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, right.
so
You're picking up the messages, right? That's how it works. You're picking up messages and information.
yeah, and you're just delivering the messages. So
Messages.
I I I kind of get my. That's why I don't get nervous when
Mhm.
I do parties or when I do readings or whatnot or shows, because I just say to God, I said, God, I don't know what to say until you put it in my lap. And
Right.
then the angels aren't, when you ask them for help, they're not going to let you down.
True.
So I
Very.
do ask, we all have guardian angels around us 24/7.
Yeah.
So when I ask them for their help, they they open up the channels and magic happens, and it's like
Magic.
really, really.
Yeah.
I had a really cool story that I think you're gonna like.
Ooh, share.
So yeah, so I got lots and lots of stories. So a lady sits down in front of me on a couch, and I was doing one of my Artie parties. I was, reading for a bunch of people.
Mhm.
So it was this lady's turn. I'm sitting on the couch in the basement, and she said to me, she goes, Artie, you read for me here 2 years ago, and you told, excuse me, she goes, you told me that I need to start playing the lottery, or I need to go to Atlantic City because you saw me winning tens of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
And I told you then, and I tell you now, I don't gamble. I didn't gamble then, and I
Mhm.
still don't gamble. She
Mhm.
goes, but 6 months later, after that reading, one of my kids, it was my birthday then. She said it was my birthday.
Mhm.
She goes, so my kids came over to my house and to celebrate my birthday. So one of my kids, and one of the birthday cards, they gave me five $2 scratch offs.
Right.
And she goes, and the first $2 scratch off I rubbed off, I
Mhm.
won $50,000.
50,000 from a $2 scratch off. Wow. That's
What
pretty.
an investment.
That's
And
pretty.
did I see 1 penny from that? No.
Artie, now. But I want to get back to the Artie party. So I have had several Artie parties at my house. And what you do is you come to, the house and you read for people individually. But now I saw that you're having an Artie party this month with a very different purpose. I see it's to film a pilot for a TV show. Now that's really exciting. So please tell us more about that.
Well, that's a show. I don't think that's a party. I believe that's a show that I'm going to be doing. So that's when I'm speaking with a live audience.
Mhm.
And yeah, and so I just go out into the audience and I just start connecting to people's loved ones. And again, I'll start talking about life and explain a little bit about life to the people. And then I just feel the energy out there.
But are you, I read though in, I think one of your emails that you're filming a pilot for a TV show. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. And that show is going to be coming up.
So
That,
where
you
will
know,
it be broadcast the show? Will it be on, network TV, a certain network TV or?
we're not sure just yet. We're not just
Oh,
sure just yet. What we're doing is we're creating the TV sizzle reel, but I'm with somebody who is very, very experienced in the professional world of filming, directing, and producing. So I feel very, very confident with the people who I'm surrounded by to make this, an all-out reality show, because they never saw a comedic psychic before.
hopefully we'll see you on TV. Hopefully we will, because
Hopefully, you will see me on TV.
you'll be excellent. Excellent.
It's just a matter of time.
Matter of time. Timing's everything, right, Artie?
It is. Timing is very much so everything.
So speaking of timing, this is a perfect segue. We're starting to run out of time. So I ask all of my guests, what advice would you give to the listeners about exploring or expanding their intuition?
I'm sorry, repeat that one more time.
Okay. What advice would you give to the listeners if they would like to explore or expand their intuition?
Well, there's a few different ways. Number one, you could go to YouTube and you relax, and there's a YouTube called Meditation for the Third Eye.
Mhm.
So it relaxes you, and it also, there's a meditation to help clear your chakras.
Mhm.
So when you clear your chakras, it does open up your third eye. It makes your intuitiveness that much stronger. So that's a really good idea to do that.
Right.
Also, when you hold people's hands, or if you hold their jewelry, or you hold their wallet,
Mhm.
and then you run like hell.
See, there's your funny part. There's your humor shining
There
through.
you go. So, but when you're holding on to their objects or their hands, you pick off on their energy,
Mhm.
and you just wait for certain thoughts to come to you, and you're going to see how accurate you really are. It's
You're
better
right.
to do it with somebody who you don't know at all.
Mhm.
So if you go to somebody who you know, and then if they have a friend or a relative who you don't know, you could
Right.
just tell them things of whatever pulls through.
Yeah.
And
True. Very true. Now, I also, at the end of the show, I always ask two questions from people who have sent in questions to my website to be answered. So, Artie, are you ready for the first question?
da, 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 da.
Okay, so Dina would like to know, will my daughter learn from the mistakes from her past relationship?
Not really, not fully.
Okay.
No. It's going to take literally probably the third time. She's going to go through one or two more relationships. That's going to be kind of challenging. And then I'm getting third time's a charm.
Hmm.
So actually it will be the third or the fourth. So when they say the third time's a charm, it might take three bad relationships and then happen, or it's going to be the third one that it's going to happen. I'm not sure. So, but it's not going to be the next one or two. Just take a few deep breaths.
Right.
The good news is she won't stay with the next fella either.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. Now, the second question is from Caroline, and Caroline would like to know, will my client survive financially, or will they end up having to close down?
I am looking. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're going to have to close down.
They won't. Okay.
Because you have the angel of patience and truth and respect. I feel like they have to retweak the way they're doing their business,
Okay.
given the circumstances. What kind of a business was that again?
She didn't say.
I feel like something, yeah, I feel like if she just keeps on playing the same old, she's gonna get, it's gonna be very challenging. But I feel like if she just markets herself better and stronger, then she
Her
will.
client, her client,
Huh?
because it's for her client.
Yes,
Right. So her client's business, they have to remarket it?
yes, they have to do more marketing, and they have to be a little more clever with the way that they're getting their service across or their product across.
Right.
So I feel like so long as they're offering deals, specials, making it exciting, the commercial, you know, you want to make it entertaining because, you know, you want to capture people's attention.
Oh, got it. Right. Oh, that's excellent advice. Hopefully that'll,
Yes.
yeah, work out then. Yeah.
Yeah, it will help her out
It'll help her
for
out.
sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Artie. It truly was a pleasure to interview you. Please give
Thank
us
you.
your contact information once again.
Okay, so if you call me at 732-778-7173, or you could email me artiehoffman@gmail, or go to artiehoffman.com. You could, you know, check me out all over the place. And I got a lot of really cool YouTube videos on my website that you're really going to like, very inspirational YouTubes. And yeah, it's very cool. I think you'll really like it. So
Yeah.
share it, like it, love it.
Check out your new book too, right?
Oh yeah, my 2 books
Oh,
called
you're gonna do it. Have your angels call my angels.
I'm impressed.
There
You
we
just
go.
impressed the hell out of me. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there we go. So thank you again,
then
Artie. And I would like to just tell everyone if they have questions for the next interview, please send it off to my website, readingsbyphyllis.com. Send in a question, and hopefully you'll get picked for the next person I interview for them to answer. All right, everyone. Thank you, viewers, for listening. And take care, and God bless.